Almost every day, I'm speaking to internationally educated PTs who feel completely unheard. They confess to me of having depression, disabled by burnout and anxiety, and even thoughts of suicide as a direct result of the unprofessionalism of our regulatory bodies and the Canadian Alliance of Physiotherapy regulators. These are not exaggerations, as there are countless names and faces to these stories that the Canadian regulatory bodies choose to dismiss. The attempt of the CAPR to blame shift, as if candidates were overreacting or seeking to undercut a credentialing process, must be investigated as being professional misconduct suitable for dismissal. I feel awful knowing that the appalling treatment by the CAPR, especially of the internationally educated PTs who come to Canada so eager and keen to start their careers in this country, instead of being compassionate, supportive, and guiding them to become practicing and licensed PTs, they're instead bullied, mocked, and threatened. The outcries of the PT residents are muted, literally silenced, by not replying to emails or phone calls. Telling candidates that they should be professional seems a bit rich to be coming from any PT leader, I use the quotes intentionally, given the reality that the candidates didn't create this. They are the victims of repeated examples of botched management. These PTs don't dare to speak up before they're licensed, with the fear of being singled out and jeopardizing their exam. The CAPR admits that they fail 50% of the international PTs and charge them fully again to be re-examined. The ones that pass the exam don't dare to ever speak up thereafter, due to fear of being reprimanded by having their license taken away from them. The international PTs have changed countries with usually their entire life savings on the line with the hopes of working as a physio. The 50% who fail the exam are unable to practice at all, as they haven't been able to for almost 2 years. Our regulatory bodies and the CAPR, who are in the position of power, seem to thrive on this abusive culture, where the survey shows 9 out of 10 PTs don't dare to complain about the physiotherapy regulatory body due to fear of being reprimanded. Now that the virtual version of the PC is finally cancelled and the CAPR has somewhat confessed to their failure, they have the audacity to announce that they will go back to their face-to-face version? No! It was ridiculous that they even believed that they could measure the competency of a physiotherapist and protect the public in any way over a computer screen mock exam. It's an insult to our profession that our regulatory bodies would even consider that as even acceptable. It's also just as unacceptable to believe that a handful of 10-minute OSCE stations using fake patients under tremendous stress determines the competency of any physio in real life. It's time that we all stood up and said to our regulatory bodies, stop it. Stop this madness and the humiliation of our profession. To truly examine the competency of physiotherapists, we need real clinical residencies, nationally standardized and tested by universities, which is their job. Canadian PT grads already complete residencies, but they should of course be nationally standardized. The internationally trained PTs could enroll and complete whatever number of months of residencies seeing real patients evaluated in real clinical settings. That's how our regulatory bodies must examine competency in a valid way. Let us move forward and not backwards to the OSCE system that's never been shown in any way to protect the public. So I wish the regulatory bodies of this and the CAPR would stop spreading this inaccurate message when a University of Western Ontario systematic review has clearly questioned the reliability and validity of the clinical component of the PCE. I'm optimistic that we're making progress and that some of our regulatory bodies have finally stated that they want discussions. I can only hope that the discussions include clinicians, PT residents, and internationally trained PTs whose lives are placed on hold. As proud physiotherapists, we will stand up for those who've been silenced.